Oh, yes. I wanted to talk about the crypto dinner. Okay. Donald Trump, he has this cryptocurrency. A lot of people have bought in, and it has grown in billions and billions of dollars in value. They've made a lot of money. I mean, I believe like they've made 40% of his net value technically is something like all wrapped up in this crypto nonsense now. We're talking serious money. With if a billionaire, you suddenly get double-digit percentage points more in wealth from this cryptocurrency inflow, where you don't know who is buying the crypto or for what reason they are buying the crypto. That's big money. And so journalists thought that, considering he's becoming so much more wealthy, and this is while he's within the office of the presidency, he has not given up his peanut farm, so to speak, would we at least get to know if these people are buying into crypto to get dinners with the president, which seems very clearly like somebody buying access. You could call it a type of corruption. Uh, the press secretary responds to asking for not even like, hey, isn't it bad that they're buying access, but could we at least know who is getting access? And her response is, no, this was in the president's personal time. And so since it's in the president's personal time, he can take the billions, have these private meetings, and tell nobody what's going on. Even though, again, when you become president, you make certain sacrifices. And that doesn't to say you don't have any secrets, but these are secrets you don't get to have. These types of financial disclosures, these types of secrets, you don't get to have these types of secrets.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Garrett, go ahead.
Caroline, you guys are very proud of your record on transparency. I have two transparency-related questions for you.
Sure.
On the president's dinner tonight, will the White House commit to making a list of the attendees public so people can see who's paying for that kind of access to the president?
Well, as you know, Garrett, this question has been raised with the president. I have also addressed the dinner tonight. The president is attending it in his personal time. It is not a White House dinner. It's not taking place here at the White House, but certainly I can raise that question and try to get you an answer for it.
Okay, and on the Qatari aircraft, the Air Force has said they're going to classify all the information about the work that has to get done to bring it up to snuff to be Air Force One. Previous Air Force One contracts, including the one that the president entered into in 2018, are public. That's available knowledge. Will the White House commit to releasing who's doing that work and the cost of that work? I understand that some elements might be classified about specific systems, but will you commit to releasing that basic information so people can see ultimately what this costs?
Well, Garrett, as you know, that's a question for the Department of Defense and the United States Air Force, who is accepting this jet as part of their fleet.
Declassify anything he wants.
Well, you'll have to ask the Department of Defense and the United States Air Force, who is accepting this jet as part of its fleet. Peter.
I feel extremely transparent. Point is, though, they're not going to tell us who went to the meeting. And so every way I have found out, all the ways in how I found out who was at the meeting has been through the people at the meeting going out and just saying they went to the meeting. People posting on their Twitters, on their X's, I represented NFT dipshit, whatever, like NFT organization, like NFT, like Monkey Dick 92, you know, I'm here to represent my company, like Crazy Banana Crypto. And I'm very happy to have listened to the president and had dinner. You know, just different posts like that. And that's how I was finding out who went. Because, again, they posted no public list. And that's also how I found this picture. Vince Wilson, thank you so much for the primer. I'm officially coming out as a full liberal. Okay. And that's a little too... A full liberal? You might need to go back in the closet a little bit with me. Okay, buddy? But that's also how I found this picture. This is the dinner they had. Mind you, people in that room, millions of dollars into crypto, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, real money. Trump has his net worth grow by billions. And I mean, at any point, could they pull that? Point is, billions in wealth. This is what they give them. This looks like cafeteria food. I love steaks, okay? Let me just be open, okay? Maybe one day I'll be a vegan. Maybe one day that'll come around, but as of right now, I love steaks, okay? I love them. I cherish them. I want them. That looks like the dog food you take out of the can and you gotta like scoop out with like a fork or a spoon, or dump the can over and like shake it a bunch and then go like that until you hear it go, and then it comes out and it hits the deck, hits the bowl, and then the dog sniffs it and eats it because it has to, or it's gonna die of starvation. That's what it looks like. It looks like that dog food next to a presumably ice cream scooper equivalent for mashed potatoes, 4 carrots. I think that's broccoli. A yellow thing, maybe a type of pepper. And I don't even know what that's supposed to be on the right. What is that? What is that on the right? Pork? Is that pork? It could be pork. It's quite white for pork. I mean, fish? That's fish. Are we sure that's fish? It's supposed to be chicken. Well, it's something. It's something. So we got mystery meat, 4 carrots, a broccoli, ice cream scoop, mashed potatoes, and dog food steak. Now, they were given this food. Trump waddles on stage, gives like a 15-minute rambling speech, dips, doesn't talk to anybody, doesn't meet anybody. That's that. He goes off to continue being president of the United States. Nobody had any private meetings that we know of. There was no going around and socializing or trading of contact information. Nobody pitched to him any ideas. And I was reading on social media these people complaining. I've never seen people so openly complain that they tried to do corruption and then they got stole. They were the ones who got their pockets snatched. And that's what happened. These guys all signed up for the Trump crypto scheme. And they poured presumably millions upon millions of dollars into increasing Trump's total net worth. Now, of course, as of right now, that's also their net worth. Okay, because that's cryptocurrency they own. But if that cryptocurrency goes under, point is though, they've put millions upon millions of dollars in it. They could have put it anywhere else. There's opportunity costs, whatever. And what they've gotten out of it is this dog food and a 15-minute private Trump speech. And we've all seen a Trump speech before, so we know how that goes. And from what I know about what the speech was about, it was basically about the importance of cryptocurrency. And I don't think Trump is going to say anything revolutionary about cryptocurrency to all these cryptocurrency people. And so I was listening to these people complaining like, God, we paid so much and we got this 15-minute speech and yada, yada, yada. Look, buddy, you tried to get in bed with a con man. A strong con man, one of the strongest in the field, a professional at what he does. And you thought you were joining him in doing the conning, maybe? You thought you would maybe usurp the regulatory state and you'd be able to get away with maybe less regulations or some access to information or some government contract. And what you got was 4 carrots. You got 4 carrots, and somebody has told me it's halibut. It is fish. It is fish. It is not chicken. So you got some fish, some potato, 4 carrot, and the dog food. It's not dog food, but definitely not a high guest dinner. Look, I'm not trying to be mean, but if you're not gonna, if you're literally just there because it's an actual business deal and you don't feel like you're just involved in this one project, like if it's just for actually supporting the president or something along those lines, you got to give them high class food. You got to give them good food. Point is, this is funny. It's funny that the con man got another one. Now, I will throw out there that this doesn't mean that there aren't potential corruption problems with cryptocurrency. There still are. It could be that Trump had this public-facing meeting for all of the $1 million, $2 million, or $500,000 buyers, and then he has a private meeting for people who put in money such as 500 million, 200 million, or some bigger lump sum, or those that he's already has pre-established relationships with, and they just see this as another mechanism to fund him cash. Who knows? Who knows?
Burns is a
but point is, despite these guys getting burnt and it being very funny, the incentive, the perverse incentive for corruption is still there. And this is not something that's only being recognized by people on the left. I have seen people across the political spectrum recognizing this danger. And I see Republican senators, Republican commentators listening to Donald Trump accepting airplanes from royalty in the Middle East, and they get uncomfortable. They get uncomfortable. Rachel Atwood say, that's the chicken the Sugar Hill Gang described at the end of Rapper's Delight. Thank you for the tier 2 sub as well. This is the highest tier we've gotten today. Thank you. And when I say it's not just my side of the political spectrum, here is Ben Shapiro talking about how it makes his party look.
The organizations that Donald Trump Jr. is connected to are making an enormous amount of money during this period of time when his father is president, which raises awkward questions, certainly, about Trump administration policy, ranging from Trump meme coin to World Liberty Financial to gigantic real estate deals in Qatar. None of this is an amazingly good look.
Amazingly good look. Now the thing is, optics aside, okay, there's an acknowledgement here, and Ben recently has been doing a little bit of right punching on the issue of Ukraine. This is some right punching on the issue of open corruption. I think Ben Shapiro understands that open corruption and abandonment of allies are not long-term sustainable political messages, that these are weak points and they cannot be shored up by the party. And I think that might be part of the reason why he's focusing on the optics of it. It's not just that it's bad optics. It's also that this perverse incentive for corruption is going to be exploited. It's not a question of if, it is a question of when, if it's not a question of already where, because they've already done it. Because the people around Trump are not people with stellar criminal records. I mean, the man himself doesn't have exactly a perfect criminal record. These are people who are motivated by some of the most base wants and needs of greed. Greed is not a need. The base wants of greed and of wealth and of power. So I think it's just a matter of time. And the question of it will be, who is the one who does it? Who are the ones that get found out? And how bad will it be? I think those are really the question. Because if Trump is doing this and he's getting away with it, I think it's only a matter of time until he continues to push the barrier, if he isn't already.